7 Action News, always taking action for you.
Developing this morning, the hunt for a third suspect in a shooting that killed a 6-month-old baby girl.
Plus, new details in the Flint water crisis. What officials are urging people to do now to help flush out the lead in their pipes.
Well, temperatures are definitely rising during the day, but at night and early morning like right now, it can still get pretty cold. So what kind of plants can handle the ups and downs of spring? Stay tuned. English Gardens, they're going to let you know.
Looking beautiful. Thank you so much, Jennifer Ann. Looking forward to that. But first, I want to say good Sunday morning, everyone. Time right now, 8 o'clock on the dot on this April 17th.
Yeah, thank you so much for starting your Sunday with us. And of course, we want to send you outside right now to take a look at this beautiful view in Ann Arbor. The sun is coming up. Oh my God, yesterday was a beautiful day. Today's supposed to be better, I think, right?
Yes, perhaps even warmer. Let's check in now with 7 First Alert meteorologist Chris Edwards. All right, Chris, how much are we going to heat up today?
We're going to get into the mid-70s throughout the area today. A couple of spots could certainly get 78, 79 degrees. Wow. Be ready for it. It is coming. The sun is making a difference, and every day it stays up just a little bit longer this time of year. Cloud cover is just not anywhere in southeast lower Michigan. We continue with this pattern with a very dry air. It's so dry it can't even allow any significant cloud cover to form over the course of the days and the nights as well, for that matter. 39 in Port Huron. That is far and away the cool spot right now. Everybody else has warmed to at least 40. It's 40 in Lapeer, but already up to 44 in Pontiac and Howell. It's 49 at Metro Airport right now, 43 in Monroe. And again, that warming has started. Where you see a 0, there is no wind. So not only is it bright, it's pleasantly cool, but it's nearly calm. Where there is a breeze, it's out of the north at 5 miles per hour or less. So look at this warming. An hour from now, 54, 63 by 11 in the morning. Early afternoon at 1 o'clock, it's 71. Bright sunshine. The ultraviolet index is 7. That's high. So grab the hat, the sunscreen, and the shades. The sun doesn't go down until 8:18. I will tell you about when we're likely to hit 80, if we could break any records. And yes, I'll talk about a cool down coming up in just a bit.
Thank you, Chris. Let's go back outside now for a check of the roads and your 7 First Alert traffic report. This is a live look right now at I-96 and the Davison from one of our 7 First Alert traffic cameras. As you can see, things moving very smoothly this morning. Of course, we will keep you updated if anything changes.
A search is going on right now for a third suspect believed to be involved in the shooting death of a baby girl. 6-month-old Miracle Murray was shot yesterday afternoon in front of a house on Winthrop on Detroit's west side. Miracle's cousin drove her to the hospital.
I instantly turned around, got in the car, and I ran every red light up, green, field, blue, but I was blowing my horn to let them know that it was like some kind of emergency, and they moved out the way, and I got her to San Andreas. I went in there 15 minutes, probably 20 minutes at the most, and they couldn't help her.
So sad. We are also told that a 24-year-old man was also shot. He is expected to be okay. Jose Jackson and Christopher Long Jr. are both persons of interest who were taken into custody for questioning last night. Investigators tell us they think these men have gang ties. They also believe this shooting is related to the death of Anaya Montgomery. She's the 3-year-old who was shot and killed on Easter morning.
And also in Detroit, police are investigating a deadly drive-by shooting on the city's east side. It happened around 6 last night on Oakland near Westminster. Police tell us 5 people were working on a car when a silver SUV pulled up and someone inside opened fire. 1 man died at the scene. 4 other people, including a 16-year-old girl, were wounded.
We do have 1 person in custody. We do believe one of the other shooters was struck with gunfire. It's a possibility we may have other shooters out. Our detectives are trying to determine that now.
And the 4 people wounded are expected to recover, we're told. Police do not believe this was a random shooting. If you know anything at all, as always, you're urged to call the Detroit Police Department or Crime Stoppers at 1-800-SPEAK-UP.
2 men were killed in a single car crash along I-275. This all happened around 5 o'clock last night near Michigan Avenue in Canton. Police say the driver lost control on the ramp and hit a guardrail. The impact launched that vehicle into the air, and then it came crashing down on a cement bike trail. Both men died there at the scene. Investigators do believe that speed and alcohol may have played a factor in this crash.
And police say dozens of workers were forced outside of this Chrysler factory after a man walked into the building with a gun. It happened around 9:30 yesterday morning at the Jefferson North Assembly Plant in Detroit. The suspect was arrested and is behind bars this morning. We're told he's a former employee and his girlfriend currently works at the plant. A union steward and a handful of workers helped find the gunman and take away his gun.
He, along with 7 of his co-workers, subdued the individual, was able to gain control of the weapon, and he was taken into custody by the union stewards waiting for our arrival.
And fortunately, we're told no shots were fired. Police say the suspect is connected to at least 4 carjackings that happened in less than 24 hours.
Thanks to tips from you, our Action News viewers, a home invasion suspect is locked up this morning. Police arrested a man from Clinton Township yesterday following several calls to investigators after our story aired Friday night. The suspect who you see there was caught on surveillance cameras video Thursday casually walking through a home in Fraser. We're told he got away with electronics and jewelry, but that he broke into that house looking for prescription drugs.
And Detroit police marched alongside family and friends who lost loved ones to violent crimes in the city. The Never Forget 1 Mile Awareness Walk was held yesterday to acknowledge those left behind to grieve for the victims. Many in the crowd told us these types of events of support are extremely helpful.
I think everyone here is just trying to find a new norm and how to move forward in their lives. And without this kind of support, we would just be stuck. So actually this is really big for me today. It helps us to cry, shed tears, but after today, I'll feel stronger and I'm able to move forward. And I think that's what all the families are looking for.
And yesterday's walk capped off a week of events hosted by DPD as part of National Crime Victims' Rights Week.
People living in Flint will soon have to run cold water for a certain period each day to help flush lead from the city's old plumbing. The strategy will begin May 1st and last for 2 weeks. The state has pledged to pay for the extra water consumption with a credit on water bills. Officials say in addition to helping rid the water of lead, the effort will also coat Flint's pipes with an anti-corrosive.
And planting a beautiful spring garden can be tricky, but the people at the English Gardens in Royal Oak are ready to help.
7 Action News reporter Jennifer Ann Wilson is there live this morning to get us ready to garden. Good morning, Jen.
Good morning, Jen and Anu. I had to put on my coat. It is getting pretty chilly just as the sun rises, as you probably know, coldest part of the day. So we both had to layer up. It's getting kind of cold, and not all plants can survive the cold. As beautiful as it's getting during the day, not everything can survive those plummets at night. But there are some things we can plant now, and Rick Vespa is here to tell us what they are.
Right, Jen. You can work in the ground now, so that's the first thing. When the ground thaws, it's time to plant. Then you can plant just about anything that's available, but you have to be careful, obviously, that it is going to be able to tolerate the cold temperatures. Our permanent plants are the structure of the garden: spirea, evergreens, of course, ever popular hydrangea here. Azaleas, those things can go in the ground pretty safely right now.
Okay, because I would be nervous about some of the flowering plants that they might wilt when those temperatures drop.
Most of these have been hardened off, so they're going to tolerate the cold temperature, so I wouldn't worry about that too much.
Now, this one in the middle right here, it looks kind of like a cross between a fern and a flower. You said that's actually a really hot item right now.
Very popular, the boxwood.
Oh, there it is, just a fern.
Sizes. This is a small one, but people use these for hedges around walkways, and even in some pots, actually.
Okay, and so this is like a really hot, popular fern right now.
Yeah, big time.
Big time. All right. All right, if you want the trendy lawn or trendy front yard, you got to grab one of these. Okay, so moving on. So these are kind of the staples, the
Right.
plants that will probably survive year-round to some extent.
They will survive year-round. That's the structure of the garden. Then we go to our perennials, which are plants that come up every year. They die back in the fall, but they'll come up again in the spring. Things like coral bells, campanula here is beautiful with flowers on it right now. Sort of a tweener plant here is the hellebores here, Lenten rose. This is a great plant. The flowers will come up right through the snow in February, and then you'll have an evergreen type of plant throughout the growing season.
Oh, that's really cool. Now, something that I think is pretty unique, you might not always think about planting vegetables. I mean, you think about planting vegetables to eat, but this is a cabbage. Look how pretty that is. And a cabbage can survive quite a bit. They're pretty cold-hardy plants.
Just like pansies, these will tolerate cold temperatures, snowfall. Ranunculus is the same way.
very, very hardy plants. Some of your cold crops like cabbages and lettuce also can go in the ground.
Yeah, there are so many tips, so many things you can do with your garden right now, and even spice it up, change it up a little bit. If you are doing the same thing every year, kind of stuck in a rut, you can stop by in English Gardens. There are 6 locations specifically on Thursday. They've got an event with different stations where they're going to help show you how you can change things up or learn how to do something you haven't done before. So 6 locations, English Gardens. Stop by anytime, and they've got incredible experts like Rick. Back to you guys.
Oh, it's
Thanks,
so
Jen.
good, right?
Yes,
It's so pretty.
So pretty, and so is the weather.
Oh my gosh, it is. Rick said something about snow. I'm not going to say anything about snow.
Another
They can poke
S
through the
word.
snow. No, we're
Sunshine.
not
Yes,
worried about
there we
that.
go, dude.
That's right, sunshine, and I'll talk about the possibility of 80 degrees. Look at the 5-day chances for rain. We are actually going to probably see some April showers, but not for the next few days. The temperature pattern looks different, and I'll show it to you coming up.
Also coming up next on 7 Action News this morning, Michigan State troopers are celebrating quite a milestone. How you can join in.
And some interesting presidential rides will be on display at the nation's capital. Find out whose vehicles will be on the list. You're watching 7 Action News this Sunday morning.